Hello and welcome to BFCA. In this video, we'll look at what evidence you should collect to help you show that your contract's outside IR35, how you can confirm the day-to-day arrangements of a contract, and summarise the key points in case law about IR35. Evidence to collect. Always keep the following documentation for all your contracts. The actual contract. Your decision-making process behind your decision on each contract. Confirmation from your client and agency if there's one involved in relation to personal service, control and mutuality of obligation. Correspondence detailing lack of any of personal service, control and mutuality of obligation. Copy phone lists, name badges, etc., showing yourself as a contractor. Copy documentation showing your status being described as a contractor rather than an employee in internal documentation. Negotiations over the contractual arrangements. Advertising, websites, business cards, insurances, etc. applicable whilst in contract. It's far safer to keep this documentation whilst you can and not try and obtain it in a rush in the event of an HMRC investigation. Confirmation of real arrangements. It's not possible to write a standard letter for this confirmation, as every case will be different. What's required is that you're gathering evidence to support your decision on employment status. For each factor that you wish to rely on, the best approach is to write to each party, for example the client and the staffing company if there's one involved, for you to confirm how you understand the relevant contractual and working practices to be, and to request that they agree that your understanding is correct. You may find that they do not reply. In many respects this doesn't matter. As long as you've written to them explaining how you see the situation and they have not contradicted you, then this should help you in defending your status as a contractor. Some example paragraphs for these letters may be: my understanding of clause 3.14 is that, should I be unable to complete my assignment on a particular day, I may send a nominated substitute to complete my assignment, and that I will be responsible for the costs of this. I can do this but will refer to you beforehand if this is the case, and that you will not withhold your consent unreasonably. As I'm a specialist in the area of whatever it might be, my understanding of this contract and the clause in 3.17 is that I will complete my assignments within this contract using my specialist skill and knowledge, but within the timeframes required by the project. As such, my reporting to your client XXX will be only as far as delivery times are concerned. I understand that if the client XXX has no further requirement for my specialist skills, that this contract will terminate within a 7-day period, this period to allow me to hand over any relevant details to the client and allow business continuity. In the event of this happening, you're under no obligation to find me any further work, and I'm free to seek alternative work from other sources. I have detailed my understanding of my contract between yourselves and my company and will be basing my tax compliance on this and other correspondence that we've had. My understanding is that you have no conflicting clauses or arrangements with your client, and I ask you to confirm this to me. There are some good cases to read if you want some further information. Reading them will provide you with an insight as to what is looked for at a hearing and how cases are decided. If you read any of these cases, you will see the following key points about staying outside of IR35. Contractual terms are required. The day-to-day working arrangements must be consistent with the contractual terms. The arrangements between the client and the agency, if there's one involved, must be consistent with your contract with the agency. You should get separate evidence of anything you're relying on whilst being on the contract, and you should save this proof for at least 6 years after the completion of the contract. It will help you to always have the mindset and attitude of an independent professional contractor. Finally, it's important to remember that each case is a unique set of circumstances and decided on its own merits, using the methodology which we've explored in this series of videos. There's no one-size-fits-all. That's the end of this video. In this series, you've heard what IR35 is and how to test for it, the mindset of a professional contractor who's outside IR35, more about each of the 3 factors that make up the irreducible minimum of 3, what factors to look for when you're determining the general picture, what evidence you should collect to help illustrate that a contract's outside IR35, and some suggested paragraphs for letters to help you confirm a contract status. It's very important to seek professional advice in complex situations like these. At BFCA Limited, we have many years' expertise in looking after freelancers and contractors who might be at risk of being caught by IR35. So if you need help, please contact us. You can see the contact details now, and they're on the final slide of each video in this series. Thanks for listening.